let me just go down this little abbreviated list and certainly be glad to answer questions for you. Regarding the schedule, it's the first time in 7 years that we've ever had back-to-back home games to start the season off. That's a major opportunity. Number one, it helps you develop depth because you can travel, you can suit up more people, you have an opportunity to get your special teams more involved. Really, it's going to be a special opportunity for us to get the young guys involved and develop depth. And when you have a 13-game schedule, you've got to have depth. We just completed our summer conditioning program. It came out very well. We're a very strong football team. I'm pleased with the results that our strength coaches presented us in terms of what the kids did and conditioning. This is weights and running. They have responsibility for that during the summer, and we have a pretty strong football team. Now going to the football itself, let's talk about the pistol offense just real quick. I'll start with the offense, then go to the defense. But it's obvious right now throughout conversations throughout the country that the pistol offense is obviously providing an opportunity for the landscape of college offensive football to become much broader. It's a hot opportunity. It's a hot topic. We've enjoyed talking with a lot of people around the country, and we're proud of that. Obviously, we're the home of it, and we're the team that started all this stuff. But it's a lot of good things happening with it, and that leads us right into what we did last year offensively. This is just kind of a summation of what we did last year. Number one, I mean, obviously we were a great running football team. There's no question about it. If we could be that way this year, we would be. As I've said many times, I'd like to be a balanced offense. But if your running game is going like it is last year, you're going to run a football. Here's what we did great last year on that offensive side of the ball. One is we led the country in rushing. We were the number one offensive team in the country in rushing. We were the number one offensive yardage team in the conference. We led the conference in red zone. We led the conference in third down. We led the conference in time of possession. I'm just saying that to you because you all know that, but what that says is that your offense was a good ball control offense. And really what was a noticeable change for us as we got into the season was our opportunities to score. We took advantage of. We had more big scores last year than any other previous time the last 7 years. Our takeaway ratio, our turnovers, in the first 3 games, as you all recall, we had 11 turnovers. That was Notre Dame, Colorado State, and UNLV. After that, we had 7. And it just tells you our ball control of the offense, of lack of turnovers, was really a cognizant fact of why our offense was so doggone good. We just didn't give the ball up. And that's stuff that's really, really special. Explosive plays, we were one of the top teams in the country. And that's explosive plays are 25 yards or more, and we really captivated some of the things we do offensively with our run game. Where we want to make and improve in our offensive game, again, I'd like to be a balanced offense. We obviously have an excellent running attack. I don't expect that to go backward. I mean, whether we're as good as we were last year, who knows? But that was a pretty special group. But where we're going to work and where we need to work harder on offense is the proficiency, the efficiency of our passing game. That doesn't mean we're going to throw it 40 times a game. It doesn't mean we're going to throw it 14 times a game. The efficiency means your completion ratio, your touchdown ratio per pass, and of course turnovers, the lack of turnovers. Cap did a fantastic job with game management last year. We were a much, much improved ball club last year. And I thought he did an excellent job of protecting the football. He just does not throw interceptions. He did a super job. So once that UNLV game got over, we really, as an offensive team, became a terrific ball control offense. Defensively speaking, last year, you know, we obviously the sour weakness, we gave up the big play with consistency. We've done that for 2 years. We were one of the worst pass defenses in the country for the past 2 years. However, I need to point out 2 things. One is we led the conference against the rush. We led the conference with sacks. Part of that's related to the teams did throw on us. There's no question about it, but we still did that. If we can eliminate on the defensive side, my top priority is eliminating the explosive plays. To get a defense that will run to the ball, that will swarm to the ball, and play hard. That's what my goal is as the head coach. And I think the way we ended spring, and it wasn't an effort that put our defense on the pedestal saying they're the best defense in the conference, but it put the defense in the point that they made some nice improvements. Having these kids believe in what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it, I think is real important. On the kicking game, as you know, with the situation that we've had right now with our place kicking, with Ricky out, there's 3 guys that will spot for that position. Nick Rhodes, who's a junior, who's been with me for 3 years now. Anthony Martinez, the young freshman redshirt, and a new kid, Jake Tyler, out of Fullerton JC, who will be a sophomore. Has a nice, strong leg. Those 3 guys will vie for that position at this particular time. The areas that our kicking game last year was vastly improved over the year before. I'm talking about the total, vastly improved. The area that has our most interest, I mean all of it does obviously, but is the return game, the kickoff return game. Now we start off with Mike Ball. He did a great job for us until about a third through that season, then he backed out. He just didn't get the job done. And that was a shame because we were on a roll there. We were one of the better kickoff return teams in the country at that time, and we did not gain that stature again. And I feel our punt return last year, you know, we had Vi back there to start off with. We had 3 or 4 different guys trying to go to. We never had anybody settle in there to take charge of that. So in a kicking game, that's an emphasis. And who, what, when, or there's a lot of bodies out there. As you know, Rashard Matthews led the country last year at JC in punt returns. We're obviously going to take a look at him. We know Mike Ball can return kickoffs. He's just got to understand that he's got to do it all the time and be consistent. And then we have several other players that we're going to look at. Isaiah Fry at punt return, who did a nice job for us in spring. We think he's the guy that might be able to step up and compete for that position. So in those phases, in our offense, in our defense, in our kicking game, those are the phases that we thought had some strength. I thought some had some strength, and the weaknesses and where we got to go to be a better football team. How about questions?
Chris, when you talk about the efficiency in the passing game, are you talking about Cap's accuracy, or is it just better routes by the wide receiver?
I think it's a combination. It really is, Joe. It's accuracy. That's the top priority, you know. And then your receiver routes, you know, I forget how many drops we had last year, but it was as little as we did throw. It was too many. But yeah, the efficiency, his pocket presence is very good, as you well know. Now it's a matter of throwing the ball downfield and having an idea of the receivers and having a better feel for them. Now, I think this receiver core, I'm excited about. I think we've got some nice competition, some good speed.
Are you looking for more from the receivers? Is it like they need to take the next step now in this offense?
Here's what I think has to happen in this offense, Joe. Cap is the heart of the offense. Let me rephrase that. The offensive line is the heart of all offense. Okay, Cap is the leading artery. But the guy, and Cap is he's going to continue doing his thing. He's the best running quarterback in the country. His improvement throwing game over spring was just excellent. I'm really pleased with it. He's going to do his thing. For us to be a better ball club, the other people have to step it up. I mean, Vi and that running back core has got to continue with what they're doing. And you hit it, Joe. The receivers and tight ends have to contribute as production guys, not as just possession guys. And so that's an area that we worked hard in spring. I know this summer they worked very hard as combination. That's all of them, not just Cap. But I think for us to be better off, everybody knows what Cap is going to do. I mean, what he's capable of doing. But to help him do that, we've got to surround him with some other tools and weapons.
Coach, you mentioned some of your concerns with the efficiency and the secondary. Have you pinpointed like your main concern just going into practice?
You know, I mean, it's amazing when you look back. Last year at this time now, we had 8 starters back on defense. Both safeties, and I think John Nye was a great safety incidentally. And we never played with any consistency. We never played with any confidence, more importantly. The secondary coming back, when you think about it, I mean, Isaiah Fry returns as a starter. We've got a couple other corners, Wooten, who's played a lot of football, Doyle, he'll be our other starter. In fact, he had a great summer. Our safeties are all of them. I mean, there's not much experience there at all at safety. The thing I like about that on all fronts of our defense, I mean, James Michael returns, Dante Moak, he can't back off. He has to be a productive guy. The thing I like about our defense, and we were just talking about this other day, is that because you have so many kids who don't have that great game experience, you're going to have good competition. And competition, I feel, is what makes you good. I mean, it gives you a chance to keep, if you can get competition and compete on your own team, you've got a chance on Saturday to compete. So because we don't have, 9 starters returning on defense or 8 or whatever, I think those guys are all going to see an opportunity to play. And you need more, with 13 games, I wish I was 13 home games, but with 13 games, you need that depth.
Hey, Coach, when you look at this team, do you think it has a chance to possibly be one of the best teams you've ever had?
Well, I think we could be an awfully good football. I mean, Josh, we were a good football team last year. We could have been a great one with a bowl game. Okay, and I feel strong about that. That team would have been one of the top 10 teams to ever play at this university. And we started off so poorly, as you well know. I mean, that was a struggle. And you're 0-3, you're 1-3, you're 2. It takes so long to get back up there, And so that team showed some character, in between there with that 8-game streak, and gave Boise all they could handle. But we've got to take that extra step now. We're not opening up at Nebraska or at Notre Dame, and I've said that before, and I'll say it again. I would play Notre Dame every year if they play. If we have to open it, we open it. That's just what you do. But and it's not to say that Eastern Washington can't come in here with us. I mean, I've been at that 1AA level, and I've been in that Big Sky Conference when we took them all on and beat them. So, but being at home and having the opportunity to get that competition and not just travel 60 kids, and have a chance to take your special teams and get more people playing, you create a better team atmosphere. So I think we can be a good football team. The key for our football team, our success, is going to rest on our defense. And all I'm saying about that is this. I do not expect our defense to go out there and all of a sudden snap a finger and miracles happen. I expect our defense every game to get better and better. I expect them to get better with every practice. I do expect us to play with confidence. We might not do a lot of things. We may do a lot of things depending on what the kids can comprehend. But that's been the common denominator here for the last few years. And, once again, the top priority is to eliminate the big plays. I mean, for every big play we got last year in offense, we'd give up one. And it's not so much giving, it's going to happen. But the morale, I mean, it starts affecting the morale of both sides, and that's what's tough. And defense is the one side of the ball that can really light that Christmas tree, that can really spark that side of it. Offense can, but not the same way a good defensive football